Hello everyone and welcome again to my tutorials. So today I will be discussing division without remainder. But before that, let's first define what is a remainder. Remainder is the amount of number left when one number cannot be exactly divided by another number. So let's have an example for you to understand what is a remainder. Let's say I have 9 divided by 2. Okay, let's say I have 9 divided by 2. So 9 divided by 2, it means how many groups of 2 is there in 9? Okay, so let's solve this using an array. So let's make groups of 2 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now how many groups of 2 did we get? Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 4, but there is one left over. And this leftover is what we call remainder. So the answer here is 9 divided by 2 is equal to 4 remainder 1. Okay? But in this lesson, we will focus on dividing numbers without getting remainders. We will have another lesson about this division with remainder. I just show you what a remainder is. Okay? All right. Before we continue with our lesson, let us first recall what a division is. So when we say division, it means equal sharing or equal grouping. So in this example, 15 divided by 3, let me say I have 15 candies and I wanted to share with 3 of my students. So I have to divide it or share it equally among my 3 students. Okay, so how will I solve this? There are so many ways on how we can solve this equation. Number 1 is using your basic multiplication knowledge. Number 2, using a multiplication table, which I do not advise because I want you to memorize each table and I don't want you to keep on looking at the multiplication table when you are answering division and multiplication equations. Okay? And number 3 is by making an array. It's very simple, right? So let's try to solve this using our knowledge in multiplication. So you know that division and multiplication are inverse operations, okay? So in this equation, 15 divided by 3, you have to think what number you will multiply to 3 to get 15, okay? 3 times what is 15, okay? So what will you multiply to 3 to get 15? So if you know the 3 times table, you know that 3 times 5 is 15. So the answer will be 5 because 3 times 5, these two, 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Okay, now let's find the answer using an array. So we have to make 3 groups up to 15. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So how many groups are there? How many groups of 3 are there? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 groups of 3 in 15. Okay? Okay, now everyone, let's go to the book. Okay, this is page 159, student's book. So you will see some examples here. Let's discuss one by one. Number 1, share eaten cookies equally among 3 children. How many cookies does each child get? Okay, so we have to divide 18 into 3 groups. So you will see here that there are 3 groups. So you have to count how many cookies is there in each group. So there are 6. So 18 divided by 3 is equal to 6, right? So, right. Okay, so letter B, we're going to use counting blocks to represent the number of cookies. So 18, there is 1 10 in 18. So we have to break that 10 into ones. So you will see here that the 10 is break into 10 ones. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then you have to divide this 18 ones into 3 groups. So each group has 6 blocks. Okay, so it's the same with letter A. Only that in letter B, we use counters or blocks. Okay, now let's go to the second example. Okay, divide 28 strawberries into groups of 4. How many groups of strawberries are there? Okay, so it means that you're going to make 4 uh, groups of strawberries from 28. So how many groups you will be able to make? So we have how many? Let's count the group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 groups. Okay, so for letter B, it's the same with number 1. We can use counting blocks to represent the division equation. So in 28, there are 2 tens. So we have to break the tens into ones. 2 tens is equal to 21. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So again, let's divide 28 by 4. You will get 7 groups. All right? Now let's go to the practice exercise. Let's try it. Page 161. Okay, so for let's try, you have to divide 12 apples into 2 groups. So you will see that the apples is already divided into 2 groups. So there are 12 apples and it is divided into 2 groups. How many apples are there in each group? You have to write it in this box, okay? And in this box also. So whatever your answer here, it's the same with the second box, okay? Now let's go to let's practice. You have to divide 30 bonds into groups of 5. How many groups of bonds are there? Use counting blocks to represent the number of bonds and to show the division. So for this one, we're going to use the base 10 blocks. Okay, so 30 means 3 tens. And we have to break that into 1. So 3 tens is equal to 30 ones. So you have to group 30 ones into 5 groups. So how many blocks will you be able to get in each group? So you have to count how many, okay? And then write your answer in this box and in this box, okay? All right, now let's go to the student's book. So we will answer page 142 up to page 145. Okay, so I'm gonna answer the first question and then you have to answer the rest. Okay, so letter A, circle the watermelons to make 3 equal groups. So we have to make 3 groups. Okay, so we have to circle 3 groups. Okay, so we have 1, okay, 2, and then 3. Okay, now how many watermelons are in each group? How many watermelons in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4. Okay, then let's write the equation. So how many are the watermelons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 watermelons divided into how many groups? 3. How many watermelons in each group? 4. 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. Okay, for letter B, circle the flowers to make 2 equal groups. You have to make 2 groups, okay? You have to make only 2 groups. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you have to make 2 equal, okay? It should be equal. It means the same. You have to make 2 groups and there should be an equal number in each group, and then you have to complete the equation. Okay, let's move on. Letter C, it's the same. Letter D, it's the same. Now, let's go to number 2, page 144. Complete the following. Divide 24 chocolates among 4 children. How many chocolate that each child get? Okay, so we have to divide it into 4. 24 divided by 4. Okay, so we can use the counting blocks here. So you have to break 2 tens into ones. So 2 tens into ones is 20. Plus here 24. So 20 divided by 4. Now it's here, it's already grouped. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So how many blocks are there in each group? This blocks represents the chocolate. Okay, 24 divided by 4 is how many? So you just fill this boxes. Okay, right. Let's move on. Okay, now this is a continuation. It's the same chocolates, 40 chocolates divided into 5 groups. So you have to write here 40 divided by 5. 40 divided by 5. Okay, so 40 divided by 5. So this chocolate is represented using the blocks. So it's already grouped here, so it will be easier for you to find the answer. Sorry, my lines are not straight. Okay. Right. Okay, so how many groups are there? Okay, how many groups did you make? So you have to write it here. Okay, understood? So that ends my video for today, my lesson for today. So I hope that you have learned something from my tutorial. Thank you very much, and see you again on my next lesson. Have a great day.